One pot spaghetti in the Ninja Foodi Pro, their latest and greatest on the market. And we're also going to use some very special sauce, if you ask me. It kind of just came on the market. It's RAO'S. And take my word, I've already tried it several times. It is the best spaghetti sauce I think you can get. And they've got several different items you can get. It's a New York restaurant, I think, since 1896. I mean, you can't hardly get a seat at the restaurant, but you can buy their products at your grocery store. I also got some ideas for some garlic cheese bread using Better Than Bouillion's roasted garlic base. Already got that mixed up. So let's get this started. I'm John Sanders, also known as Jelly 007. Let's make some one-pot spaghetti. Okay, so here is the ingredients you will need and what we're working with tonight. And I'll just start out with saying this is the reason for the video, and it's that good. It's RAO'S homemade marinara. Now they have several different versions of that. It's a restaurant in New York. It's a small restaurant. It's impossible to get a seat at from what I've read. It's been there since 1896. And take my word, it is worth trying. It's worth going to the store and getting this just to see what I mean. It's that good. Now this is one of the items they have that I wasn't able to find in all of my stores, but it's Italian peeled tomatoes in a tomato puree with basil leaf. Well, if you can't find that, I've used stuff like this. I mean, you could use Hunt's or anything, but here's some San Marzanos, and they are in basil also, and they're whole peeled tomatoes. I mean, just look for something like that to substitute if you can't find this. Let's see, what else? I'm going to use about a half of this package of shiitake mushrooms. I'm going to dump in there. This is 1.5 pounds of 93.7 ground beef, and luckily it was on reduced for quick sale today. I saved a whole $2 right there. And here I'm going to actually got basil I'm going to put on it. Let's see, I got some Parmesan that I'm going to grate over it, and this particular spaghetti, it's I use thin spaghetti. I don't always use the angel hair or the regular. And this spaghetti worked real well. I've tried it already and I like it. I'm going to show you how to break it in half too. And that's a big deal from what I've read. But anyhow, I'm going to show you how I break it in half. I'll put it like that. And then at the end, I'm going to do garlic cheese bread. And I've already got it mixed up right here. I'll show it to you. That's what we're going to put on the bread. And I've got a video of where I mixed it, but it's not that big of a deal. It's Better Than Bouillion's roasted garlic base, and right here are the instructions. And it's pretty much, it was 1 cup of softened butter, 3/4 tablespoons of this, and then a teaspoon of Italian herbs, and 1/2 cup of shredded Parmesan. Well, there's the herbs I used, or the Italian seasoning. And then I used this on my grater. I used this particular side, not that. And I did 1/2 cup of that right there. So to get this started, what I'm going to do is I'm going to press, and let's see if you can see what I got. In fact, I'll turn it just a little bit. All I'm going to do is hit sear saute, and you have to raise the lid or it'll tell you to. I'm going to hit sear saute, and by the way, on the Pro, you have high, medium, low, medium, and then low. Well, I'm not in a hurry. I'm just going to do medium, and then I'm fixing to dump this 1.5 pounds of 93.7 straight in there. I'm not even going to wait for it to preheat. And when that browns up, we're going to start this. So there it goes. All right, so I've got a video where I was in the store and kind of videoed the other versions of this they offer. So I'm going to drop that in right here. So here it comes. Okay, so here's what they have. And they've got many, so I wanted to show it. And you said they're not the cheapest in town, but this on sale today. That's the 32-ounce jar. But then here in the 24-ounce, you got tomato, basil, marinara, bolognese, Italian mushroom and sausage, roasted garlic, vodka sauce, arrabbiata, tomato herb sauce, sensitive marinara sauce, and yeah, I think it doesn't have a lot of garlic and onions. I think I read that on it one day. I'm not positive. Mushrooms and bell pepper. But then also, they've got this. And from what I've tried, which was that right there, I didn't try that exact one. It was a different pizza sauce, I believe. It's worth that money. And there's some roasted garlic Alfredo. And then here's some that's just Alfredo. Whoops. I guess there's a lot. Anyhow, now you know. All right, so as you can see, I put about half of those shiitake mushrooms. I went ahead and turned it off. Probably wouldn't have had to, but doing the video, I kind of wanted to show it a little better. I've got 2.5 cups of water right here. And here is what the canned Italian peeled tomatoes look like. And we're going to break those down a little bit. So, and they actually have a recipe on the back of this can also for a marinara sauce that you can make with that. But let's see, we got to take this. I'll show you how it looks. So there's, you know, it's whole peeled tomatoes, and we're going to chop those up just a little bit. I don't want them, you know, whole, but I don't want them cut to nothing either. I don't want to blend them or anything. And then we're going to, we got to cut up, we're going to break up that spaghetti, get it broken in half where it'll fit in my Ninja. I'm going to show you how to do that. That's a big deal, evidently. I've read a lot on it. Let's see. I think that right there is all I'm going to do to that. I may go ahead, you know what, I think that'll be a good idea to go ahead and add the marinara, because one of the objects here to keep from getting a burn notice or a water light is once your spaghetti's on top, you use it to hold your thick stuff off the bottom. So you want this to be on top of your spaghetti, and that's why. Because if all this thick stuff ends up down there, it can't develop steam. So in a moment, we're going to add this water, and it'll be underneath all of that so it can develop steam real easy. But like right now, here we go. We're going to add this marinara, which I've used another, which was absolutely excellent. Like I said, I think it's called a arrabbiata that I've used. But I'm just going to add all of this right here, just like that. And now I've got something in one container to pour around when I get the spaghetti in there. So anyhow, let me get this kind of butter and I'll be back. All right, so after reading that Richard Feynman actually won an IG Nobel Prize over the fact that spaghetti will not break in half evenly. And this is the way I've done it before, which is this right here. Now they said apply a twist, and they said you couldn't, in fact, they couldn't achieve it in a home because you can't put enough pressure, but I'm going to do it, and we're going to see how it is and see how well mine comes. And I didn't see a lot of pieces fly. It looked pretty clean. The problem they were having was it would break into 3 or 4 pieces. So there is my method, and that's how I've never tried the twist method, so that may have helped. But you can do that, as you can see, pretty easy. Now all I'm going to do, actually I'm going to pour this water in here first, and just like that, 2.5 cups, and then I'm going to pixie stick, and this is the way I do that. I just kind of spin the vessel or the pot, and then I kind of shake it down a little bit because you want a solid base for this marinara and all to sit on. I'll take the other half out of this 1 pound of spaghetti and try and do that over the pot where I try not to drop too much. But I'm telling you, I don't think I broke any. I think they broke right down the middle. And then, like I said, just kind of spin the pot. Now, you got to make that go down. There's no way I ever want, now I broke one, it went out on the floor there. There's no way I ever want anything above, you know, where it should be. So we're going to spin that around. And you can see there's my max line. So I'm just going to press that down in there a little bit. And now, in fact, I got to make sure I got everything ready, because once I pour that marinara on there, I want to be able to go with it. So I'm going to straighten this out and make sure my edges are good. And again, there's my max line. I never take anything above that for any reason at all. So here we go. I'm just going to pour that around like this. And you don't want any more than you can let go down in the side. You don't want any going down to the bottom because it will cause a burn light. So we're going to give that just a little bit of a twist and a shake, flatten it out just a little bit. And it also helps hold the moisture on the spaghetti. But you don't really have to worry about that because this whole vessel will be full of steam when you start it. So I'm going to put the lid on. I'm going to lock it. I'm going to seal it. I'm going to hit pressure. Turn it on first. I'm going to hit pressure and I'm going to on high. And I'm going to do 7 minutes. We are off and running, and shortly we will see what we got. Be back. All right, I didn't kind of realize how bad I was in front of what I was trying to show you, so I'm going to explain it one more time. When I'm dropping in, I use one hand to hold the noodles or the spaghetti, and then I spin the pot. And then I just kind of let them fall out of my hand so this pot's spinning and it can kind of pick. And you can kind of see that in the second part of it, but you know, I just wanted to make sure that you understood what was happening because, like I said, you just want them spread out and not on top of each other and crowded up because they'll, as I say, meld together. And they will a little bit anyhow, but you can break it up. It's no big deal. Okay, and for the record, I'm pretty proud of breaking it, a clean break that I'm telling you, they couldn't get that done. I mean, from what I read, you can look into it. It's Richard Feynman, and it's called an IG NOBEL, and it's kind of a, you'll have to read about it. But anyhow, you can do that, the same thing with this. When I do that this way, I kind of flatten the box. Of course, you can't twist. I've never twisted before. I've usually just snapped them. But after reading what they did in this science experiment, I tried the twist, and it did work good. But to be honest with you, I've never had a problem just doing what I did without twisting. And this right here, you just take the same thing and just take it on the counter and pop it. You know, both hands pop it. So. And you don't make a mess because I'm leaving it in the wrapper. That may be what they did wrong. They didn't leave it in the wrapper. Maybe they took it out. Anyhow, now you know. All right, we're coming up on the end of the pressure cook 7-minute time. And all we have to do now is do a quick release. And as soon as that's done, we're going to open it up and stir it around. All right, there went the pen. So, like I said, expect it to be a little, a lot of liquid, but we're going to stir it up, and that will fix it like magic. And there it is. I'm going to set this over here in the sink. When I find a safe place to put it, it's hot. And you know what? We'll use this. And you can see right there is the spaghetti. It's just right below the liquid. And we're going to stir it up, make sure you can see what's going on. You can. And we still got to get all I'm going to do is just get it mixed up. You want it to sit a little while after you open it. And make sure the spaghetti's not melded, as that's the only term I have. And but you can see, man, it looks excellent. Look at those tomatoes, and they're going to be good. I'll assure you that this is some of the best spaghetti you've ever ate, and simple and easy. You dump it in and go, you know. Now, I'm making it a little more complicated by trying to do the toast, when I probably could have done that in my Ninja oven right behind me. But this was just in case you got one thing to do it in. And I want him to get into the fact that, just like I said, it would be a little easier to do in the toaster oven, but this is kind of neat if I can do it this way, but we're going to see. I don't know yet. This was kind of a last-minute thought. So I'm going to mix that a little bit better, but you see it. I mean, it looks, well, I'm going to get it where you can see it real well, hopefully, if I can get everything to clear. That is simple, easy, and that RAO'S is absolutely the best I've ever ate at my house, and that is the truth. So I'm going to let that sit just a minute while I kind of get my rack ready and get it in there to see if we can even do this. So I'll be back when I figure that part out. All right, so what I'm going to do right here, and it's just been a couple of minutes, but as long as it's sitting there, it's kind of finishing out. That's what I always say. It takes it just a minute. That's why you don't want to just dip it out of there and start eating it. So you need a few minutes anyhow. And I'm just going to do this right here on top of the spaghetti, which is, you know, you could use cheddar or anything. It would all work. or pre-shredded, whatever, but I'm going to put Parmesan because I got it. And then I've also got basil that would look real good right there, but not yet, not yet. I'm just going to put a little bit. Now, I'm going to take some of this bread that I've sliced, like I said, on a bias, as I've heard people say, and that's what I did. And we're going to just spread a little bit on here, like that. And I'm just going to do 2 pieces right now. We'll see how many you think we can get on there, but I'm only going to do 2 right now. It's just me right now. Baby doll she's done in the bed, to be honest with you. And it's just me. This will be eaten tomorrow, most of it. And as you know, spaghetti, if you ask me, is just as good, if not better, the next day. So I'm going to put this in there just like this. And maybe I could have had a little more cheese there, but this is kind of a test, and I don't want to waste too much time on something that doesn't work. I mean, I don't know why it wouldn't, but I've been surprised before. I'm going to actually add a little more cheese to this toast, and it's going to be real close to that element, so not real sure, but here we go. I'm going to make sure it's not going to touch my element, and it's not, I don't think. I'm going to back it up where you can kind of see. I'm going to turn it off, where it'll get off pressure cook mode, turn it back on. I'm going to hit broil. I'm going to try that. And I'm going to hit start. And we're just going to let it run a minute. And I'll come back and we'll see what's happening. And if it doesn't work, it just doesn't work. The spaghetti looked excellent, and I can't wait to try it. So I'll be back. All right, we're at 5 minutes time, and look, that worked excellent. I mean, right now, you pick that toast out of there, you stir that spaghetti one more time, and you have got a perfect dinner. So I'm going to do all that, and I'm going to get it on a plate where I can make my YouTube pictures. But, I mean, the toast worked, and it's hot. Take my word. So I'm going to do that. I'll be back. Okay, right there it is. And take my word, it's excellent. And I mean, that's why he's been there since 1896. They have something. He knows what he's doing. The toast, man, it is excellent. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. Let me see if you can tell by this. And I don't know if you can hear that, but this right here. Toast is perfect. The garlic spread, and like always, my mouth's full, but to me, it's perfect. Now, I mean, you see how the ninja did it too. I mean, 5 minutes while you're kind of letting that absorb and do what one pot spaghetti has to do anyhow. I didn't pay attention. I think I could have got at least 4 pieces. And you probably could have noticed it better than I. I'm sure I could have got 4. Maybe I could have got more, because that's enough spaghetti for several people. But anyhow, hey, try the RAO'S. I think it's an excellent, worth doing a video over. That big a deal. It's absolutely the best spaghetti I ever ate. Y'all come back to see me. I love y'all all. Fix you some one-pot spaghetti, and I think your family's going to love you for it. Y'all have a good night. Bye-bye.